Microaggressions and Gaslighting Story 1.
Coercive control by husband who never outright forbid me from anything. It always baffles me when people say abused wives should have just left. That if they really wanted to leave, they would. When should I have left? The time when he didn't say I couldn't go see my friends but trashed the place when I went out with them? The time when he didn't say I couldn't see my family but called them trash and rude when I spent time with them? The time when he didn't say I couldn't continue my career but got so angry at something else I forgot to do in the house when I told him I got promoted at work? The time when he told me I could count on him to help with housework but shouted at me for half an hour for reminding him about cleaning the spare room? The time when he never told me I couldn't keep my social media but I had to give him all my passwords and download a spying software on my phone and laptop so he could check my online presence? The time when he got a foot sprain, so he told me how useless and uncaring I was when I had to go to work but not before giving him all the comfort within his reach? The times when I got severe menstrual cramps and I had to slow down my movement but he thought I was just being lazy? When was the right time to leave him? He never said I couldn't see my family, have a social life or continue my career. He never explicitly said he was forbidding me from doing all those things. But every time I did, he would get angry at me for something else. He would either verbally abuse me or tell me my friends or family were the bad guys, or he would give me the silent treatment for days but made sure I noticed so he would trash our house or just my things. And then when we made up and I told him how his actions had hurt me, he would say I hurt him more and that I just couldn't comprehend why he was doing all that for love. I used to think I was an independent and modern woman before I met him. But love could either lift you up or destroy you. The love that he gave me destroyed me. I thought I wouldn't fall prey to abuse, but when I was in that situation, I never thought I was in an abusive marriage. After all, he did not physically hit me. He did not explicitly forbid me from doing anything. He did not tell me I couldn't do anything. I had no physical bruises or even no physical proof of him trying to imprison me in our house. I didn't wear shackles during our marriage. But I couldn't physically leave. I wasn't missing, but my friends and family couldn't reach me. It was partly my doing because I let him poison my mind about them. He didn't outright tell me I shouldn't hang out with my friends and see my family anymore, but every time I did, he would start an unrelated fight with me before I went out and had the house trashed every time I returned. He never told me to stay away from them either. But he always had something to say about them. He would say that my sister was jealous of me because she liked him, but he chose me. He would claim that my friends were sluts who were encouraging me to cheat on him. He said my parents always favored my sister over me, and that they were just using me to be their future caregiver when their old age came. He didn't say all of that in one sitting. He would tell me all those in small dosages, obviously hinting that they were taking advantage of me. I thought I was of a strong mind, telling him that he was just imagining things. But over time, the poison got to me. It was apparently me who was imagining things. I had to stay away from the people I loved because I thought he was right about all of them. I cut connections with them. I even quit work, turning my back at my promising career. At that time, I thought it was my decision. After all, he often told me a good woman of God should prioritize her husband above all else. He often told me that selfishness and vanity would be a good woman's downfall. He told me that I would be left all alone and miserable if I threw a good man like him away. His reaction to me doing what I loved, being with my loved ones and having fun in general should have clued me enough. I couldn't even tell strangers online of my home life, even anonymously, because while he didn't require me to report everything to him, he told me if I didn't share my passwords, it would mean I was cheating on him. But of course, this was not true for him because he never shared his passwords with me. I loved him. So much so that he became my whole world. I stayed at home and became his personal servant. He gave me everything I needed, or so he said. He made me totally dependent on him. In return, I gave him all my trust and love. But his love was conditional. If I made a mistake, he withheld that love. When I left the dishes unwashed for about 30 minutes, he told me how useless I was and how I was mooching off his money and expecting him to live in filth. When I forgot to include his favorite brand of coffee at the shops, he told me that I spent my time flirting with anyone who would give me the time of day and that's why I was so distracted. When I left the chicken a little too long in the oven, he told me I was wasting money and I didn't care because it wasn't mine to waste, that he was busting his ass off working just for me to waste it all. When I bought cheap skincare and he told me I was wasting his money for trivial things. Since then, he only gave me exact budget and I had to give him an itemized list of what I bought. When I was feeling under the weather and asked if we could just order delivery so I wouldn't have to cook, he lectured me about money again and that told me I was faking it. When his niece was going to celebrate her birthday at our backyard, I was told to prepare and make sure it would go smoothly. I thought I was just going to help her parents, but it turned out I was tasked with everything, from cooking the food, decorating the place and making sure everyone had everything they needed during the party to cleaning up after everyone. No one from his side of the family lifted a finger. I even heard him apologize to his sister because I was a little slow. When I confronted him about it later, he told me that I was my job but that I was jealous of his teenage niece because she was young and beautiful and I wasn't. When a neighbor complimented me for the lasagna I brought to the cookout, he told her I was a housewife and that's the only thing I did in my time, so it shouldn't be a surprise I could cook a simple dish right. That neighbor doubled down on her compliment, which got me so nervous because I knew that it angered him and I would feel his wrath when we got home later. I was right. And of course, every one of those times I genuinely thought I was the one at fault. He would always guilt-trip me into thinking I was selfish when he did everything for me. He would say that I didn't know the sacrifices he made for me. And I thought he was correct. I didn't have to compete in the rat race anymore because he paid for everything. He spent so much time working and all I could do was to make sure he was comfortable at home and had good food, and I couldn't even do that well. So I was the one who always asked for his forgiveness. I was always the one who promised to do better each time. Until I realized that I couldn't do better anymore. I had already given my best.
If you liked the story, please give it a thumbs up. Share the video and subscribe for more. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you very much.